Kevin Spacey has been acquitted on 9 charges related to sexually assaulting several men. And I'm seeing a lot of people outraged. They're saying BS, it's wrong. And look, man, I innocent until proven guilty. Now, I certainly understand the machine can be broken. This happened in the UK, not in the US. I don't necessarily trust Kevin Spacey or anything like that, but I wasn't in the courtroom. I don't know exactly what the allegations were, other than he had, assaulted these men. And there's accusations that some of these guys were lying for money. What's fascinating to me is that, Kevin Spacey had reportedly flown on, like Epstein's planes and things like that. So nobody believes him. And that's really, look, you fly on that guy's plane and there's good reason not to believe you. But I also kind of feel like, I'm not here to defend Kevin Spacey. Don't get me wrong, but he's not convicted of this crime. And I can only say innocent until proven guilty. We can say we don't trust the courts. I don't necessarily trust the UK. They ain't here in the United States. Not that I trust all the courts in the United States either. But we just had this big Me Too false allegation thing going on where a bunch of celebrities were falsely accused. We have to balance calling out the evil of people like Epstein and Maxwell and the client list, which we want to see, with crazy people are lying for money. Now, in this instance, it's not so cut and dry. This Kevin Spacey, there's been reports that, do I have that one pulled up, actually? I think I have it pulled up here. No, it's just Kevin Spacey found not guilty. There's been reports that he was friends with Epstein and all that, so we really don't trust him. And just because he's found not guilty on these doesn't mean he's not guilty of anything else. I just want to make sure we're keeping in mind, even if you don't like the guy, you can make the argument he got away with it because the courts protected him for some reason. I don't know, though. The challenge, like I said, is you've got woke leftists who lie about these things for money, but you also have the Epstein stuff. So you decide, is all I'm really saying. Figure out where you stand here based on the information. Daily Mail reports, an emotional Kevin Spacey has said he is humbled after being dramatically cleared of sexually assaulting 4 men following a star-studded trial where Sir Elton John gave evidence in his defense. Was it 9? I said 9. Was it 4? I thought he had like 9 charges, I think. The double Oscar winner, who marks his 64th birthday today, was overcome with emotion when the jury at Southwark Crown Court in London returned not guilty verdicts on all counts. Spacey was accused of abusing his fame and power to carry out 9 sex acts, there you go, that's what I was saying, on 4 men during his tenure as artistic director of the Old Vic Theatre, but he insisted these claims were madness and accused the claimants of lying for money. I got to be honest. Like I said, I don't trust the guy, but I also don't trust the people accusing him. Look, Christine Blasey Ford and Kavanaugh, the lies about 2 doors on the house, the woman who claimed that Kavanaugh would be at parties where men lined up to gang up on women in a bedroom, if you know what I mean. I'm not buying it. But in this case, look, I'm saying in that story. In this case, I'm just saying, grain of salt. Speaking of the steps of the court after the verdicts were delivered, the American thanked the jury, his legal team, and his loyal manager and longtime friend, Evan Lowenstein, for standing by him. He said, I imagine that many of you can understand that there's a lot for me to process after what has just happened today. But I would like to say that I'm enormously grateful to the jury for having taken the time to examine all of the evidence and all of the facts carefully before they reach their decision. And I am humbled by the outcome today. I also want to thank the staff inside this courthouse, the security, my legal team, and Evan Lowenstein for being here every day. The allegations not only shredded what had been a glittering showbiz career, but also had major financial implications, with the star told to pay $25.5 million to the producers of House of Cards after he was sacked. He has also been landed with at least $1 million in defense fees and suffered the humiliation of being edited out of the Sir Ridley Scott film, All the Money in the World. Earlier in the trial, Spacey told the jury, I've lost everything. Hey, look, if it's true this dude got falsely accused, he got Me Too'd because some people wanted to make money, yo, that's dark stuff. Happened to Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp got booted from these films. He got booted from the Harry Potter one and Pirates. And it turns out that the accusations were false. I'm just saying, man. 2 of the men involved in the case are known to also be suing Spacey in the civil courts. However, the verdict ends the criminal proceedings against him, raises the prospect that he could soon return to the screens after being shunned by Hollywood for the last 6 years. I just want to say, I wonder why it is that these charges against him actually preclude him from being in Hollywood, with Hollywood's predilections, as it were. But he came out, gave his speech, crying. Following the not guilty verdict, Spacey placed his hand on his chest, looked at the jury, and mouthed "thank you" twice before they left the room. Angered by the celebrations in the public gallery, Mr. Justice Wall said, "The members of the public gallery will stop reacting or I will throw you out." Wow. He then commended the jurors, saying, "Every case I have to do has its own difficulties. In your case, this pressure came from the fact that this was a case attracting significant attention, and you were like fish in a goldfish bowl." Mr. Justice Wall said Spacey was free to leave the dock, and after the jury had left the room, the star embraced his legal team and wiped tears from his eyes. Jurors rejected the prosecution's claims that Spacey had aggressively grabbed 3 men by the crotch and had performed sex acts on another man while he was asleep in his flat. Is that really all they accused him of? In one case, the court was told Spacey allegedly grabbed another man's crotch like a cobra after meeting him at a West End theater in the mid-2000s following an alleged barrage of vile comments. Under questioning from Spacey's lawyer, Patrick Gibbs, KC, the complainants all denied either seeking financial gain, attempting to further their career, or giving false accounts to the jury. As perhaps the most high-profile victim of the Me Too movement, Spacey had described how his world exploded and he lost everything in a matter of days. In 2017, after being accused of making sexual advances to American actor Anthony Rapp when he was just 14. Yeah, I don't trust Spacey on this one. But innocent until proven guilty. And that's how it's going to go. I don't know what else to say, man. The allegation, which Spacey was later cleared of, led to an avalanche of claims from at least 30 men in America and Britain. This is what they say about all these guys. Can all of these people be making it up? Yes. You got to prove it, man. It is insane to me that anybody could lose their livelihoods because of accusations. Innocent until proven guilty. Look, there are challenges here. If 30 guys come out and accuse Spacey, I don't think it's at all alarming that they say, we're going to stop working with you until this is resolved. It's unfortunate, but I do get that. But to terminate contracts, kick them off movies, and all of that stuff before anything's been proven, I think goes too far. I suppose the challenge is what happens if it turns out it was true. Then they say, why didn't you take him out of these things? It's like, well, look, innocent until proven guilty. The reason this is so twisted is outside of Kevin Spacey, imagine you're at work minding your own business. Some woman you've never met before just says, this guy groped me. So they fire you. And you're like, it's not true, man. And this has happened to people. I mean, you get the famous story of Mattress Girl. Remember that? She claimed this guy raped her in college. She carried around her mattress everywhere she went. Stupid. And the media ate it up. And as it turns out, she was begging this guy desperately, saying, I love you so much. Text messages got released. And apparently she was enthralled with this man and begging him for love. And invited him over and talked about how much she enjoyed his company and all of those things. As it reportedly. There have been so many stories. There's, like I mentioned, Christine Blasey Ford. 30 years ago, I vaguely remember being at some party and Brett Kavanaugh threw me on the bed, jumped on me, and then rolled onto the ground and giggled and ran away. Yeah. What? That's the story? And she cried and said, I've been traumatized my whole life because of it. What? No, you haven't. Get out of here. 30 people come out. Kevin Spacey is a celebrity. People start jumping out. You know what I think a lot of this is? Half-truths. Like Kevin Spacey meets a guy. The guy's into him. They're at a party. They go about their thing, leave. Later on, the guy can say, you know, or the woman. What was everyone saying in the Me Too stuff? That regret is not rape. That there are many stories where a woman will hook up with a guy, regret it, and then say, I didn't want to do it. Conflating what they were doing at the time. I think the issue really comes down to in a lot of these stories is that human beings do not walk up to other human beings and say, hello, I would like to engage in adult activities with you. Is that okay? Yes, it is. Okay. It's just not how things happen. It's not. And there have been a lot of, YouTubers and personalities who have talked about consent and have said the way you're supposed to do it is to constantly get verbal yeses. I certainly think it is important to do so, considering the litigious nature of the reality here. And you don't want to pressure someone and put them in a position that's bad. But let's be real. That's not how it works. That's not what people do. People are at a party and like a guy and a woman are talking and then they lean in and then they just start making out. And then what? The woman can say, I never really wanted to do it. He didn't get confirmation. Well, then why is it not rape on her part as well? That's the problem. The jury of 9 men and 3 women took 12 hours and 26 minutes to announce its verdict. 3 alleged indecent assaults and 4 sexual assaults were dated between 01 and 04. The 5 further offenses were 05 to 2013. Throughout the trial, Spacey was sure of his innocence, repeatedly denying all the charges against him. Yeah, perhaps. As allegations piled up and his acting roles came to a halt, the hit to Spacey financially was equally devastating. His defense cost him £1 million, a figure dwarfed by U.S. legal fees. Even worse, 2 years ago, an arbitrator ruled his alleged misconduct amounted to a breach of contract, and he was told to pay £25.5 million to the producers of House of Cards. Isn't that so crazy? Someone accuses you, and now you're in breach of contract. You didn't even do anything. He lost an appeal to overturn the ruling, so, he's still facing a lot of heat for this. No one seems to believe him, though. A few people have said that he, was wrongly removed from House of Cards. Others have just said, no way. The courts are rigged. Hey, that's on you. You believe what you want to believe. I'm just telling you, here's what the news is. Yeah, well, that's the news. Elton John came to his defense, so there you go. Famous names were mentioned. I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up tonight at 8 p.m. over at youtube.com/TimcastIRL. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.